Hello everyone, today we have a wintry yoga practice. So it's been snowing quite a lot where I am right now, so I want to practice a little bit of self-love by practicing some yoga. So when it's really cold outside, sometimes you really don't have the motivation to go outside, to take that run, or to make the trip to your gym, but you can always do yoga at home, and that is what this channel is all about. And to practice a little bit more self-love, today I'm going to give myself and everybody that's watching a love card. So I'm going to shuffle my love cards to myself. And today's theme is all about believing. So we're going to believe in our will to take care of our health, even when the conditions are not ideal. I don't know if you can see through the windows. I'm going to show you a footage later about how wintry it looks from here. But the concept is really you can believe in yourself and you will have the will and the strength to do anything you put your mind into. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to warm up with some yoga. Maybe you can also warm up the temperature in your apartment if where you are is also a little bit cold, just so that we can get started together. All right, so let me move this mat a little bit. So I'm facing you in the center. And from here, we're gonna be working a little more on our hips. So our hips carry a lot of emotions, especially when it gets a little bit cold and dreary. We kind of try to close in. So we're gonna be opening up our hips today, and also we're gonna be opening up our chest. From a standing position, we're gonna transition to sitting on the mat, and we're gonna be focusing on our chest and our hips because both areas will tend to close in when we're feeling some emotional stress. So maybe when the weather is not great outside, you would also like to close in, but we're gonna do the opposite of that to balance our bodies and signal to our bodies that we believe in that this is still gonna be great despite what the circumstances are. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna take a deep breath in, okay? And now we're gonna transition from standing to sitting so we can easily warm our bodies up, okay? Take a deep breath in, bring your hands above your head, gaze towards your hands, and when you breathe out, dive down, forward fold. Sway left to right to release any tension in your lower back, and shake your head no, and nod your head yes. And I already know my legs are a little bit sore, so I can really feel the stress in my legs, so we're gonna get rid of that. All right, from here we're gonna transition into a seated position. All right, so we're gonna be focusing on opening up our hips a little bit. All right, so we're gonna start with just a couple of deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, I want you to round your shoulders back. Okay, see how much taller I'm sitting? I'm just gonna keep doing that to signal to my body to open up first. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, rotate your shoulders back. All right, just two more breaths here. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, rotate your shoulders back. Perfect. From here, we're gonna get started with our hip movements. So you're first gonna bring your right knee to your chest, and you're gonna kick your left leg out. All right, we're just gonna hold on to our right knees for a couple of breaths. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, once again, rotate your shoulders back. A couple more times. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, rotate your shoulders back. One last time together. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, roll your shoulders back. From here, you're gonna open up that right knee to the side. Okay, so you're already feeling the outward rotation in your right hip. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, you're gonna hinge from your hips and hinge forward. All right, so you should be feeling a lot of stretch in your hamstrings, and just hold that stretch and just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, you should hinge forward just a little bit more. Okay, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. Perfect. From here, slowly walk your hands back, and we're gonna switch sides. So kick your right leg back this time, here for a couple of breaths. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, rotate your shoulders backwards. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Breathe out, rotate your shoulders back. One more time together. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, rotate your shoulders back. And then you're gonna open up your left knee to the side. All right. And take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, try to hinge through your hips and just hinge forward. I know, especially if your hips are pretty tight right now, it will be really hard to fold forward, but really just focusing on that hinging sensation, right? No matter how far ahead you can fold forward, the degree doesn't matter. It's really about feeling from your hip joint, okay? One more breath. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. Perfect. From here, we're gonna come to our favorite hip opening position, which is the butterfly pose. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. All right, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. We're gonna stay here for a little bit longer because this is a really good passive hip opening position. And if you want to deepen that hip opening, what you can also do is to apply some subtle pressure on your knees so that you're forcing your hips to open a little bit more. So here I'm just putting my forearms on my knees to give it a little bit more stretching, all right? A little bit more opening. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, try to hinge forward just a little bit more. Just 2 more breaths here. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. One last breath here. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. Perfect. From here, you're gonna bring your knees up. Still keep your legs bent. And we're gonna do some windshield wipers, okay? But the trick to this is that you're gonna keep your sit bones firmly on the mat, okay? It's also kind of a core workout if you're really doing this right. But take a deep breath in, really lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, drop your knees to one side. Breathe in, come back to the center. When you breathe out, drop your knees to the other side. See how subtle my movements are? Because my sit bones are firmly on the mat, I don't have a lot of degrees of rotation, right? But I'm gonna feel every single degree of rotation because they're so minor. And this is a really good hip opening warm-up. All right, and once you feel like, okay, I'm getting the hip opening, can I challenge myself a little bit more? You're gonna open up your legs a little bit more and see if with our sit bones still firmly on the mat, we can already open up our hips a little bit more, okay? And then this is a really great hip opening movement because it focuses on both the inwards and the outwards hip mobility, right? When we're doing a lot of hip movements in yoga, we kind of focus more on the hip opening side, not so much of the hip closing side. So this is a really good one to open up your hips in both directions. All right, and then open up your legs a little bit more, sit bones still firmly on the mat, and you're gonna drop your knees to one side and then another. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. At certain angles, it might feel a little bit more challenging. Just embrace that. Just keep leaning side to side. Perfect. From here, you're gonna open up your legs completely into a straddle pose. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, you're just gonna hinge forward, okay? You're gonna feel your whole legs are stretching out. Not just your hips, but your hamstrings and your calves. All right, breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, try to hinge forward from your hips again, okay? You can keep your feet in flex position, just so that you're stretching your hamstrings and your calves a little bit more, and just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, hinge forward. A couple more times. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, hinge forward. And one more time. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. All right. And then you're going to pivot your upper body to be facing your right leg first. All right. You're going to feel a side body stretch. Perfect. We're going to stay here for about 5 breaths as well. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, try to hinge forward. 3 more breaths here. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, hinge forward. If you can reach for those toes, you can do that. And that's also gonna give you a gentle shoulder stretch, right? And you're gonna feel it in your calves a little bit more. One last breath here, breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. And now you're gonna pivot your upper body to be facing me for a side body stretch. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Keep your sit bones firmly on the mat. And you're just gonna try to reach towards those toes. And depending on how open your side bodies are, maybe you can reach for those toes. Maybe you can't. But I want you to focus on your chest opening. So take a deep breath and lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, try to bring your gaze towards the sky and open up your chest just a little bit more. And if that breaks the connection with your feet, that's okay, right? Just release your hand because I want you to open up your chest more here. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, bring your gaze towards the sky. And open up that chest just a little bit more. Perfect. From here, bring your upper body to be in the center. And then we're going to pivot to the other leg. So come to your left leg this time. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. First, breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. 4 more breaths here. Breathe in and out deeply through your nose. And really feel the connection that you're trying to make between your upper and lower body, hinging from your hip. All right, just about 1 more breath here. If you can reach for those toes, that would be great. If not, that's completely fine. And once again, pivot your upper body to be facing me for a side body stretch. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. All right. Once again, if you can reach for those toes, good for you. You're gonna feel a pretty intense side body stretch if you do that. But I want you to focus on your chest opening here as well. So take a deep breath and lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, bring your gaze towards the sky and rotate open your right shoulder. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose just for a couple of breaths. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, open. 1 more breath here. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, open. Perfect. And then from here, bring your upper body to the center. And then slowly walk your hands up. Perfect. From here, we're going to close out our hips a little bit with a hero pose. All right. So if you are pretty open in your hips, you might be able to do a full hero pose. But for everybody else, we're going to try to start 1 leg at a time. All right. So you're going to bend your right knee, but you're going to bring your right foot to the outside of your right hip. Okay, so counterintuitive, but you're going to feel that inward hip rotation right away. Keep your knees at the same level. That means that your thighs are still about parallel to each other. All right, so for this position, we're actually going to lean backwards. All right, so make sure there's nothing behind you, and then you're going to slowly walk your hands back, 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 back. Maybe you can even bring your upper body completely flat onto the mat. And we're just going to stay here for several breaths. Just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. All right. So, to come up, you're going to bring your elbows onto the mat and push yourself up. And then we're going to switch sides. So, kick your right leg out and bend your left knee this time, left foot outside of that left hip. All right, you can feel that inward hip rotation already. If anything hurts, just massage yourself a little bit. And then walk your elbows back and see if you can maybe even bring your whole upper body to be on the mat. And just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Perfect. Just gonna be here for a couple more breaths. Just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And then you can come up. All right, so for people whose hips are pretty open, this is going to be a full hero pose. This is optional. So of course you're going to bend both knees at the same time. You can come into that by transitioning from a tabletop position. And then bend both knees and make sure that your knees are leveled and your heels are outside of your hips. And then you can lean backwards. Okay, this is a pretty intense pose. And feel free to open up your knees a little bit as you go down, but you want to make sure that your thighs are parallel to each other. All right, and you're gonna feel a lot of sensations in this pose. All right, if this is already a lot, just stay here. Otherwise, try to lower your upper body onto the mat. Okay, so if your knees are hurting, I do not recommend this pose. All right, so if your knees hurting, just do what we did earlier. Otherwise, stay in the full hero pose for just a couple more breaths. All right, and then from there, you're gonna come up into a tabletop position. And of course, we're gonna do some cat and cows. So you don't need to pivot, but I just want you to see we're gonna do some cat and cows. So shoulders on top of your wrists and hips on top of your knees. Breathe in, arch your back. And when you breathe out, round your back. And just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose for several breaths. And from here, you can easily transition into frog pose, which is also a hip opening pose. All right, so come into your elbows and see if you can walk your knees out as much as possible. All right, if your hips are pretty open, you can probably even lower your hips onto the mat. But if that doesn't come easily, that's completely fine. You're just gonna try to slide your knees out as much as possible. If your knees are hurting, feel free to use some paddings underneath your knees to make sure that they're not too sensitive to the firm ground. All right, we're just gonna stay here for several more breaths. Breathe in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And we breathe out. Try to lower your hips towards the mat a little bit more by sliding your knees away from each other a little bit more. All right, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And when you're ready, you're gonna push yourself up back into a tabletop position. Perfect. All right, from here, we're gonna do a puppy pose to open up our chest a little bit. So I want you to come to the back of your mat a little bit. Now you're gonna walk your hands forward with your hips stay exactly where they are. And just relax into the shoulder opening pose. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, can you melt your shoulders towards the mat a little bit more? Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, can you melt your shoulders a little bit more? If you want to intensify your shoulder opening, you can lift your gaze up and try to bring your chin to the mat and feel the extra degrees of opening in your shoulders. Perfect. From here, keep your hands firmly on the mat, forearms firmly on the mat. Just shift your hips forward to come into a cobra pose. Okay, if your lower back is not very open, come into a cobra, or you can come into a sphinx with your arms at 90 degrees angles if your lower back is open enough. All right, from here, we're just gonna do some side body stretches. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Breathe out, look to your right toes. Breathe in, come back to the center. Breathe out, left toes. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And twist to one side and then another. Perfect. From here, you're just gonna bend your knees and bring your toes together to come into a child's pose. All right. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, melt your shoulders towards the mat. Perfect. From here, push from your hands and tuck your toes under. Come into a downward facing dog and just paddle out your feet. All right, at this point, I do need to take off my socks so that I don't slip around. Perfect. All right, downward facing dog. You know what, I'm gonna move this over here so it doesn't look that bad. All right, from a downward facing dog, we're gonna do some hip openings again. So first take a deep breath in and lift your right leg up, and then breathe out, bend your right knee, stack it on top of your left hip. Breathe in and out and rotate your hips in one direction and then another. Alright, and then take a deep breath in and lift your right leg up. Breathe in, right knee to your chest, and then you're gonna step your right foot halfway through. We're gonna do a hamstring stretch. So you're gonna rock forwards and backwards first, and then you're gonna plant both feet down for a hamstring stretch in a runner's split. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, hinge forward just a little bit more. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And you're gonna feel that hamstring stretch. If you wanna intensify it, try to straighten your legs as much as possible. You're gonna feel it even more. All right, perfect. From here, walk your hands forward. Breathe in, right knee to your chest. And then lower your right knee onto the mat. Pigeon pose. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. Okay, we're gonna stay here for about 5 breaths. And just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. So if you feel like you can intensify your hip opening, you can bring your shin to be almost parallel to the short edge of your mat. And that's gonna intensify your hip opening. And wherever you are, we're just gonna be here for 2 more breaths. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. When you breathe out, try to hinge forward. Any degree more. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. One more time here. Breathe in, lengthen. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. From here, walk your hands up. And take a deep breath in. Right knee to your chest. And then kick your right leg out. And then breathe out. Bend your right knee. Stack it on top of your right hip. And then rotate your right hip one direction. And then another, and then kick your right leg back, and then downward facing dog. Perfect. We're gonna do it on the other side. So lift your left leg up this time. Breathe out, bend your left knee, stack it on top of your right hip. Rotate your hip one direction, and then another. And then breathe in, left knee to your chest, and step your foot halfway through. Rock forwards and backwards to warm up your hamstring a little bit. And you're gonna plant both feet down, and we're just gonna stay in this runner split. Open up your left hamstrings a little bit. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, hinge forward. Once again, if you wanna feel more intense hamstring stretch, try to straighten both knees. All right, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And then you're gonna walk your hands forward. Breathe in, left knee to your chest. And then lower your left knee onto the mat for pigeon pose. Once again, we're gonna hold here for about 5 breaths, but if you feel like your hips are pretty open at this point, try to bring your left shin to be almost parallel to the short edge of your mat, and you're gonna feel the stretch instantaneously. And just keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose as you fold forward. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine, and when you breathe out, hinge forward any degree more. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose for just about 2 more breaths. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine, and when you breathe out, you hinge forward any degree more. Okay, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. One last time here. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine, and when you breathe out, hinge forward any degree more. Perfect. From here, bring your hands onto the mat. Breathe in, left knee to your chest, and then kick your left leg out, and then stack your left knee on top of your right hip. And then just rotate your left hip one direction, and then another, and then kick your left leg up, and then downward facing dog, paddle out your feet. Perfect. From here, we're just gonna do 1 chaturanga, come to the push-up position, halfway push-up, and upward facing dog, and downward facing dog again. Perfect. From here, I just want you to walk your feet up, and then bring your feet to be as wide as the mat, and we're gonna come into a yogi squat. Okay? So I'm gonna pivot, but you just stay there. A yogi squat kind of looks like this. So your feet are wider than hip width apart, toes are pointing out, and if you can, you're gonna bring your hands to your heart center. Okay, so depending on how open your hips are, you might not be able to drop your hips all the way. So it's totally fine if you have your hands on a block or have your hips on a block. But whichever way, you can help yourself to feel that hip opening a little bit more. All right? So we're gonna try to keep our hands at our heart centers and keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, try to push your legs out just a little bit more. Perfect. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. And when you breathe out, push your knees out just a little bit more. And because this is also a heart opening sequence, you're gonna open up your arms to the right side. All right, keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And if you want to come into a bind, feel free to wrap your arms outside of your right leg. All right, just here for a couple more breaths. And then open up your arms again and come back to the center. We're gonna reset by coming into a forward fold first. And just sway left to right to release any tension in your lower back. And then toes point out, come back into this yogi squat. And you're gonna open up to the right side this time. And if you're practicing a bind, you can wrap your arms outside of your left leg this time. And just stay here. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And open up. Come back to the center. And then lift our hips up, forward fold. Keep breathing in and out deeply through your nose. And you're going to shake your head, nod your head yes to release any tension in your neck. And then you're going to wrap your arms around. So you're going to put your hands on your elbows and just sway left to right to release any tension in your lower back. And just compare this feeling to the feeling that you had in your legs at the beginning of the class and see how much more opening you already have. One more thing to stretch our legs, you're gonna try to bring your hands to be underneath your feet and do a forward fold with your head relaxed. All right, if you feel like your head is not relaxed, your shoulders are not relaxed, shake your head no, nod your head yes. All right, and release your hands. Bring your feet to be parallel to each other, hip width apart. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands above your head. And bring your hands to your heart center. And that was it for our heart and hip opening yoga flow for this wintry day. I hope that you're feeling a lot more open and a lot more energized on a snowy, gloomy day. And stay open, believe in yourself, and I'll see you next time on